Hello everyone and welcome to my new video. This is Super Hang-On the Sega Mega Drive. Now this, to me, was a game that I always had some mixed feelings about. I do like the game, but it used to really annoy me in equal measure as it did entertain me. And usually it was through stupid reasons like bouncing off the other bloody motorbikes and flying off the grass verge and watching as your bike blows up, that kind of thing. Now I first came across this in the arcades and I really enjoyed it then. I think they did a proper on-bike machine as well. I know they did it for Hang-On, I'm sure they did it for Super Hang-On as well. In fact, yes, they did, because I remember playing on that, and they did a stand-up arcade cabinet as well, which you just had the handlebars with, and that wasn't particularly good, because one of the great things about the sort of... I don't know whether you could say it was hydraulic. It wasn't hydraulic in the sense of Space Harrier and Afterburner. What tended to happen is you kind of leant side to side, and that sort of steered the bike. I suppose you could say it was some form of rudimentary motion control. Whether you would say that it was hydraulic or not, I really don't know. But anyway, yeah, I really enjoyed it. So when I got the Sega Mega Drive, I got this as well. But it obviously feels nothing like the arcade because you don't have handlebars, and it certainly didn't come pre-packed with a hydraulic or motion controlled or any other form of massive control system either. But it's still a pretty good game. It's one of the better, if not the best, arcade conversion of Super Hang-On. I also had this on the Commodore 64, and the Commodore 64 version was pretty terrible. It wasn't the best. Certainly, this looked absolutely spot on compared to the Commodore version, which I don't know what the hell was going on there, but that was bloody awful. So it was pretty much night and day, and this one hands down. But where this actually had a real edge over everything else, and including the arcade, was the inclusion of a proper career mode. Now, Sega used to do this quite a lot with their early arcade conversions, and this was really to try to introduce an element of longevity, because the arcade games were okay, but in the early days they were just designed to pinch pennies off you, and there wasn't a great deal of depth to them. It was just race along until the timer run out, or until you got to the end, whichever came first, and that's not terribly interesting as such. So they introduced a career mode in this, whereby you kind of start off with a really, really crap motorbike, and the objective is to complete races, get credits, and buy new parts for your motorbike, buy new mechanics. You'll have like a rival that you'll get bonus points for if you beat them too. It's not quite the same as it was on Super Monaco GP, where the objective was to actually get a better car. The objective in this is just to improve the motorbike. You don't get another motorbike as such. You just radically change the one that you've got. And it does work. It does introduce an element of longevity, and it's kind of satisfying when you start making the bike faster and faster until it's the same, if not better, than the arcade version of it. And graphically speaking, it's rather nice. I mean, it is one of the earlier Mega Drive games, but it's nice, it's colourful, it looks pretty damn close to the arcade in my opinion. The motorbike itself and the other motorbikes look big and chunky and fantastic, and again, there's nice animation. I like the tyre animation. It sort of gives you the impression of the tyre going round, and the impression of speed and everything like that. I like the fact that the courses are varied too, and again, there's different difficulty settings, and this is really just how long the actual courses last for. But yeah, I mean, I like the fact that as well, like in this one, America actually does bear a resemblance to the country or continent that you're supposed to be racing on, which I always find very, very helpful in a game. You'll be surprised at the number of old racing games didn't even make any effort whatsoever to give any visual indication that you were racing in a particular country or not. They just told you, this is where you are, and therefore that's where you had to go. Or sorry, that's where you assumed you were. So yeah, this is really good. I really do enjoy it. And as you can see, I'm pretty rubbish at it. The problem when you come back to play a lot of these games many years after you played them before is you do forget the little nuances of the game. I mean, I would have sat down and played this for a much greater length of time than I have here. So, you know, it does take some getting used to. You know, sort of getting back into the swing of things, getting back into how the bike handles and what have you. There are some corners you see that you can just go flying into without touching the brakes at all, and then there are other corners where they're a lot sharper and you have to hit the brakes, but if you hit them too much you'll just sort of slide out and onto the side and hit one of the side barriers, or you can oversteer if you hit the brakes too soon and it's not a corner that you need to be hitting the brakes on, just like I did there. So yeah, there's many ways to go flying off your bike in this game, and this also has a legendary status. I remember losing my temper terribly badly with this and actually taking the cartridge out of the Mega Drive and throwing it across the room straight into the waste paper basket on one occasion. That was a pretty legendary incident that happened because there were witnesses to it, but it was quite funny anyway at the time. No one got injured, thankfully, and I did have the good mind to turn the Mega Drive off before I chucked it. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and please stay tuned to my channel for more videos to come.